know me, I'm Shiley. Thank you so much for clicking on this channel. And for those of you who know me, hi, welcome back. As you can see, I have changed the name of my channel from Eat Breathe Books to my actual name, Shiley Ashar. And I hope that you guys will stick around and, you know, be excited for more videos from me. So today I'm going to be doing a vlog. I'm going to be going to Barnes & Noble. I'm going to go book shopping. This is a huge Barnes & Noble. It has 3 floors. If you like my Barnes & Noble vlogs, I have a ton on my channel, so you can go check those out. I put them in a playlist. But without further ado, let's get started. Keep seeing this here, and it honestly sounds so good. Weddings plus comedy, totally up my alley, and I love this cover. She also wrote this book, if you're familiar. This one's called A Sin Approves Men and Do Not Fall in Love by Jackie Lau. Has anyone read either of her works? I only bought this on a whim a couple months ago, and I still haven't read it, but I know a lot of people like it. If you're into it, let me know. Apparently it's supposed to be like based on a real life interview with Chris Evans or something. And I know the main character is Jewish, which is cool. Not into the very like heavy NA content. I really prefer closed door stuff. So I've heard that Sophie Sullivan's work is really great for that. So I recently got a guide to being just friends. I'm really excited to dive in. I've heard good things about her stuff. Also been hearing good things about Abby Jimenez's stuff for a while. I've yet to read any of it, but I did recently buy Part of Your World, and I know people really like her Friend Zone trilogy, so I'll have to check it out. People say it's better to read in order, even though it's a companion series. I haven't talked about this so much when it was published, self-published, and that cover was so cute and I should have gotten it. I mean, I like this one too, but I do wish I got that cute one, but it's out of print now. Anyway, if you've read this, let me know how much you like it, because I'm very interested in getting it. I did recently buy her book, The Atlas 6, which I think is more of like a fantasy, so I'm excited to check that out, but I think this one's more contemporary. Okay, hopefully the lighting's better now. I got my hot chocolate and coffee. It's kind of cold outside. It's been raining a lot in LA lately. And fun fact, so this is one of my favorite books of all time, Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, and I'm actually running a book club at the school that I work at right now. So I'm introducing this to middle schoolers for the first time, and they seem really excited about it, so I'm really excited about it. I even made like a whole slideshow talking about different characters and the setting, and we're going to actually analyze it. There's a lot of irony in Twilight, so I'm excited to look at it through another lens, because I've read it so many times that I've never had to really critically analyze it with middle schoolers, like, which I'm really excited to do. So I just love this book so much. And the new cover is really cute. I mean, it's still really similar to the other one, but gotta love the, you know, the typical Apple cover. I'm glad they didn't change that because it's iconic. Okay, for those of you just getting into reading, dystopians are definitely going to make a comeback soon. At least that's how I feel. So you should probably read the OG, which is Divergent by Veronica Roth. I've only read the first and a half, but the first one is just so good even on its own. I definitely recommend that you read it and then watch the movie, because I'm telling you, they're about to come back. I feel like this is going to go viral again. And Shatter Me just recently went viral, and that's a dystopian, so I feel like this is going to be next on the list, but we'll see. I might be wrong. I bought this book recently. It's called If You Could See the Sun. This is Anne Lang's debut novel. It's YA. We're in the Y section now. And it's a little bit sci-fi-ish. It's about a girl who turns invisible, and then she can hear people's secrets, and so she sells people's secrets. And she like goes to a boarding school in Beijing. So all of that sounds really exciting. And I just read her contemporary romance, which I really loved. I'll try to show you guys later. I think it's here because I bought it from here a few weeks ago. But anyway, I bought this one recently too, and I'm so excited to check it out. She's such a good writer, and I highly recommend her work. Yeah, again, I know people are still waiting on me to do a reading vlog of the Crave series, which is a vampire boarding school series with other creatures in it too, and I know I need to. I need to like reread Crave, finish it, continue with the series and vlog it. I just don't know when I'm gonna get around to it, but if people are still interested in a Crave vlog, definitely let me know. Guys, this is the one that I was talking about a few minutes ago. This is basically fake dating. This guy's a very famous actor in China, and then she has to fake date him. She wants to become a writer. She wrote a whole blog post about how she fell in love with someone, and it wasn't about anyone true, but then it went viral, so now they have to like fake date. It is really good. The tension is great in it, the chemistry, everything about it. I'm reading this right now. I actually got an arc of it, but then I decided to buy the full like physical copy just because I love Emma Lord's writing so much. This one's set in college, which is great. I love that we're, you know, coming out with more YA stuff set in college. It's really exciting, and I'm really liking this one so far. An arc of this too. I'm practically finished reading this one. I'm probably actually going to sit in the cafe today and try to finish it today. It's about a girl from France who goes to live in New York to become a chef, and oh, it's just so good. It's so romantic. Her first book, Kisses and Croissants, is also really great. think it's here. Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like. And that's what the cover of that first one looks like. And this one's actually set in Paris over the course of a summer, and it's about an aspiring ballerina. So I was battling whether or not to read this book. I finally read it, finished it yesterday, bawled my eyes out. I knew it was going to be sad because right at the beginning, it already tells you like kind of how it ends, but not all of it. And it's just like way more tragic than I thought it was going to be. And it honestly like was painful to read it. So I don't know if I can recommend it necessarily. I think that if you're like young, like if you're a teenager, maybe under like 23, 25, honestly, I would not read this book. It is so incredibly painful. I know that the author feels otherwise and she thinks young people actually should read it, but I don't really know. I think it depends on how old you are and your maturity level, because it was honestly, it was so painful reading this because it's just such a tragedy. But I will say the writing is so incredibly beautiful. There's so many beautiful lines in the story, and it's so well written. And there's going to be a companion novel that comes out, which she hadn't been planning on writing, but now she is. So I definitely am excited to check that out. But I'm glad it doesn't come out for a while because I need a breather from this for sure. Of course, I have to give a shout out to one of my favorite romances of all time, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, which is a YA romance, which is an homage to rom-coms. It just feels like you're watching a movie when you're reading this book, and I'm so excited for her third YA to come out, Betting on You, which is going to come out, I think, in October. I released the cover on my Instagram a while ago, so I'll leave my Instagram down below if anyone wants to check that out. The romance that I'm a huge fan of is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This is the first in a companion series of 3 books. This one's my favorite, but they're all good. It's about a girl who goes to boarding school in Paris. As you can see, I really like books that take place abroad, especially Paris and Italy. She goes for senior year to boarding school, falls in love, and has all these adventures. This is the special collector's edition, and it's just so good. These are the other 2. So Lola takes place in San Francisco, and then Isla's goes back to Paris again. If you haven't read Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Solomon, it's one of my favorite books by her. Highly, highly recommend. It takes place on the last day of school between 2 rivals, and they have to work together to like win this scavenger hunt. It's incredible, and the Jewish representation in it is wonderful too. There's a whole Shabbat dinner scene that I really enjoyed. I bought this a while ago. I may have even pre-ordered it. And now that I read If He Had Been With Me, which was so sad, I'm like, I need to wait to read this. Like, I've been wanting to read it. Everyone says it's so good, but I know it's sad, and I just really need a break before I read, like, another sad thing for sure. I think he has another book coming out soon, though, so maybe I should hurry up. But it's about a girl whose boyfriend dies, but she can, like, hear him on the phone. So obviously it's a story about grief. I heard it's really beautiful, though, so maybe I'll check it out sooner rather than later. I finished reading this morning. I basically was in the middle of a bunch of books and I'm trying to like finish all of them. I've just finished reading this. It's called Reggie and Delilah's Year of Falling by Elise Bryant. This is the 3rd in her like companion series that all have different like romance stories in them, but they all tie in somehow, hence companion series. And this is actually told in dual POV, unlike the other books she's released. She wants to be a singer and he's like a big Dungeons and Dragons guy, so they're like total opposites but also have a bunch of similarities. Definitely really enjoyed it, but I'm going to talk about it more in my wrap up. I did get an ARC for this one as well on NetGalley, so I will be sure to post like a written review on my Goodreads, maybe on Instagram too if I start posting more reviews on there, I'm not sure. But anyway, definitely did like this one. If you're looking for a sweet YA romance, I would recommend. I've been seeing this one around. I have no idea what it's about, but the cover's so cute. It's called Rosewood, A Midsummer Meet Cute by Sayantani Dasgupta, and I'm gonna look into what it's about. Okay, so if you're into like Shakespeare and Jane Austen and things like that, you really enjoy this one. That makes sense. Oh, I like this cover. Definitely have to put this one on my radar because it sounds really interesting. Really good things about this book. It's called The Reunion by Kayla Olson. Sometimes real life happy endings require going off script. Okay, so it's a story that has like TV, movies, Hollywood type in it. I've heard good things about this, so I might check it out. I also see a bunch of Beth O'Leary's books. I think I own the Switch for sure, which I've heard good things about. I haven't read it yet. People always talk about this one also. The No Show, which I have yet to read. People have really mixed feelings on it, but I have heard that it's good, especially in the second half, so maybe I will check that out. So they have Lynn Painter's new adult, The Love Wager, which doesn't come out for 2 more days. This should not be on the shelf yet. I will not be buying this because if you buy it early, then it doesn't count for the New York Times bestseller counter. Like, they count how many copies purchased the first week, and that determines if people get on the list and what number and stuff. So I don't want to hurt her chances, so I will not be buying this. Fortunately, my camera died, so I'm just gonna finish filming on my phone. Georgie All Along by Kate Claiborne. I've heard really good things about this. I know it was recently like the book of the month from Book of the Month. My friend kept talking about it too, so I decided to check it out. Oh, that reminds me, I actually got this buy one get one 50% off the other week, and they have like a table dedicated to that. So actually, let's go there and check out what they have at that table. So here's the romance sale section I told you guys about. Romance with extra cheese, please. I don't like calling romances cheesy, but it is a cute little graphic. So these are buy one get one half off. They have YA and NA paperbacks. They have the new Emily and Austin new adult Do I Know You, Alexa Stario's new book. This is the book I just told you guys about that I already bought. X's and O's. Some of these I have arcs of, so I really love the book so bad that I might buy the paperback. A Guide to Being Just Friends, I bought that recently. Let me tell you which ones here I've read. Okay, A Little Something Different I read years ago. I think that one's told from like 20 different perspectives, including the perspective of a bench and a squirrel. Some of these I haven't read, so I'll just mention the ones I have. Summer Broken Rules, love that one. Great summer book. Better Than the Movies, one of my favorites. Last Chance Books, that one's a really good one if you just like love reading books about reading. Tokyo Ever After is great if you love Princess Diaries. I haven't read Talia Hibbert's YA yet. Love from Scratch, I definitely need to read because her second book comes out really soon. Haven't read Always Jane, but I have read a couple of Jen Bennett books. I really enjoyed Alex Approximately. Counting Down With You is a really great one. Her second book's good too. When You Get the Chance is amazing, amazing, amazing. Love that one, especially if you love theater. And I'm reading her next book, Begin Again, which I mentioned earlier. It Only Happens in the Movies. I'm pretty sure Holly Bourne's a British author, starting to get more attention in the US. I've heard really good things about this one, and I actually did buy it recently. Haven't read this one. That's basically that.